foundation of it by the people. Not by the organization, not by the building, not by the corporation. It's built by the people. And I've been fortunate to play with a number of amazing people, and got to work for some amazing people as well. And it's those people that build the foundation of those entities. And I think sometimes we forget that.
And when he says forget it, he's talking about management and the general manager, Frank Levengoose.
Yes. He's frustrated with how he's running the franchise currently.
Right. And he, look, Rodgers also said he loves all of his teammates, coaches he loves, loves the people and all that. And it's just basically a philosophical difference. And he says a lot of the stuff that you've heard, that we've heard, about how pissed off he was about the drafting of Jordan Love, it was not about that.
With my situation, look, it's never been about, never been about the draft pick, picking Jordan. I love Jordan. He's a great kid. He a lot of fun to work together. I love the coaching staff, love my teammates. I love the fan base in Green Bay. It's incredible 16 years. It's just kind of about a philosophy, and maybe forgetting that it is about the people that make the thing go. It's about character. It's about culture. It's about doing things the right way. And a lot of this was put in motion last year, and the wrench was just kind of thrown into it when I won the MVP and played the way I played last year. So this is just kind of, I think, the spill out of all that, but it is about the people. That's the most important thing.
He would elaborate any further how much he was traded, will he even show up, trade him, what's going to happen.
And it's the frustrating part if you're a Packer fan or if you're an NFL fan, because Green Bay is it's one of the original teams. It's one of the original organizations, and there's so much history and tradition there. But when you hear like Matt LaFleur, the head coach, and he's basically, it sounds like he's writing love letters to Aaron Rodgers.
He wants him to come back.
Right, he wants him to come back. And then you hear Aaron Rodgers talk about how he loves the coaching staff, he loves his teammates. He has an issue with one individual, and that is Gutekunst, their general manager. And so I guess the decision has now become even more highlighted. It's one or the other. I don't think that they can both be in Green Bay and Gutekunst be in that position and Aaron Rodgers come back. So the decision now is, do you make it because Aaron Rodgers is he's as big of a part, if not more, than what Brett Favre was, and some of the other legends in Green Bay. He's coming off an MVP season. How much longer does he have? And if you're playing the long game, do you believe in Gutekunst enough that the long game is going to be better with him as GM? You're going to have to make a choice. It's simple as that.
And you think if I'm Mark Murphy, the president of the Packers, obviously
he's got the stakeholders to answer to.
Okay. If you think in your mind that Aaron Rodgers can win you a Super Bowl in the next 2 years, whatever his contract has left, or even a couple more if you want to extend it. If you think you can win a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, then I think you do get rid of Gutekunst. But if you don't, then you move on. If you think Gutekunst is a guy who can rebuild, you don't need to be rebuilt, but they'll obviously it'll be tougher without Aaron Rodgers.
So let me ask you this question: how long? And this is a really hard one to answer. How long does Aaron Rodgers have? How wide is that window from now until not the end of his career, but the window for him to be a Super Bowl caliber quarterback?
I still think, how old is he now? 35?
He's 38-ish.
Whatever. He proved that he can play. I still think he has 3-4 years left.
He's 37.
37.
He's 38 in December.
Okay, so I still think he can play at a very high level, a Brady level for the next 4 years.
For the next 4 years.
Yes.
All right. So
Remember,
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just asking the question.
Remember, he's got a couple extra years of less wear and tear because he sat.
Right.
Right. For the first basically 3 years.
Yeah.
And so my question is, if that is your window, and you decide okay, we're gonna pick Aaron Rodgers and we're gonna get rid of Gutekunst. Now, do you go out because there are a few players available still in whether you can trade for them or in free agency to add to the offensive skill positions? And do you go in all in and say this is what we're doing, and our window is you have to go all in is what I'm saying.
Right.
And so do you go and possibly put together a trade for a Julio Jones?
Wow.
I mean, that's
Yes, I know.
so if you're looking at 3 years, because Julio Jones is
Right.
10 years into the NFL, he's probably only got 3 years. They've got Devontae Adams. Can you imagine those two together?
I know. But there's if you think you have a 4-year window, I don't think you have to go for Julio Jones now. You can give up some
Well,
more of
this
your
is going to be
capital.
1 year of that window.
Right.
And Julio Jones, if you can acquire him in a trade, your cap hit, if you keep the contract the same, is going to be less than if you go out next year in free agency. Obviously, you could go in the draft.
Yes.
But they haven't done that throughout the entirety of Aaron Rodgers' career, no matter who the GM
I
has
know,
been.
but you know what? As much as we bitch, I'm sure Packer fans bitch and Rodgers bitches, whether publicly or privately, that they don't have the quote big time receiver. They've been pretty damn good without it. So I don't necessarily think they need to go get Julio Jones.
Devontae Adams is one of the best receivers in the league.
I
know.
understand, but so that's where I'm getting to is, all right, they were the number one offense in the NFL last year. Without Julio Jones. And so Aaron Rodgers is setting this tone of you're not giving me enough help, you're drafting my replacement, yet we have the number one offense. What more does he want? He's walking a very fine line of diva, crybaby, and a lot of people think he's already crossed that by the fact that he wants out of Green Bay simply because of the GM. They've had a dramatically an unbelievable offense compared to other offenses, and it's now I know it's partially because of Aaron Rodgers and his ability to make those receivers good.
I think the one thing, and this is what Mark Murphy needs to do, he needs to find out if Gutekunst is messing with the culture of the Packers and the history of the Packers and the way the Packers do things. And it's kind of like what happened with the Steelers in the, the mid-2000s or a little bit earlier than that. Remember the Tommy Maddox era?
Yeah.
They got away from their identity of we're going to start with defense first. And they kind of started to happen a little bit here with Bell and Brown. And they kind of have gone back to it and stuff. And I don't know, maybe if he's internally changing things that we don't know publicly, then I would side with Rodgers in this. But I think he's being a diva here. And he seemed to contradict himself a little bit. This all started when Love got picked. That's what it's about. He said it started last year at the draft. So he's trying to say that it's not Jordan Love the person.
Right.
It's Jordan Love the pick.
Right. And so this is the question then. You're going to have to pick a side. Is it GM? Is it quarterback? And if you pick the GM and the quarterback is gone, you just heard, I love my teammates. I love this coaching staff. How many of those players, we've heard Devontae Adams, next year free agency, maybe he's going to be gone, especially if Aaron Rodgers isn't there. How many of those players do they lose, not just in free agency, but in the locker room?
Do you want them, if you're a Packer fan, do you want to, Greg is, do you want to rebuild? Because if you let Rodgers go, you're rebuilding, basically.
Absolutely.
So, and if you want to win the next couple of years, you get rid of Gutekunst, or every way to pronounce his name, and you go in and placate Aaron Rodgers. As much as it's painful to do. 97-1.
Hey, if you're dealing with old sports injuries, arthritis pain, and joint pain, if you've been told you need a new hip or a new knee, pay attention, because I need to tell you about Straith Orthopedics. Dr. Brent and Dr. Fleischman at Straith Orthopedics are Michigan's top hip and knee robotic joint replacement surgeons. Why would you want to use a robot? The surgeon can plan your entire procedure in advance. The incisions are more precise. It's less invasive. There's less chance of human error. Less tissue, muscle, and ligaments are moved. Therefore, you have a much quicker recovery time. Like walking right after hip replacement, almost right after hip replacement. Robotic joint replacement comes at no additional cost to the patient because at Straith, they accept most insurances. And it gets even better. Straith is a specialty surgery hospital. So you're not there with sick patients, COVID patients. You're not searching around a gigantic hospital to find the orthopedic wing. There's There's no, and you get your own room. If you have to spend the night, there's no sharing. You get your own private 5-star suite. So if you're in pain, don't wait another day. Give Straight Orthopedics a call and mention my name, John Jansen, at 855-STRAIGHT. That's 855-STRAIGHT, or online at straight.org. Straight Orthopedics is committed to you.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, new problem has popped up on 275 northbound at 6 Mile. An incident is now affecting the right lane and shoulder. Police are on the scene and there's already a little bit of a backup. 75 southbound traffic volumes definitely building from 14 to 12 Mile. And in the Brighton area today, prepare for construction. Single lane closures for 96 both directions at Door Road. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
There are no sweeter sounds. Hear the game. Here. All the play-by-play all season is on 97.1 The Ticket and the Odyssey app.
This is Boomer Science with an Odyssey Sports Minute, sponsored by Credit Karma Money. Progress starts here. As he dramatically battled both Father Time and one of the toughest courses in golf during Sunday's final round of the PGA Championship, Phil Mickelson found himself in times of trouble only on a few holes. However, that didn't stop his mother Mary from texting words of wisdom via daughter Tina, suggesting that her famous son just sort of let it be. Tina, text Philip and tell him just to pour in. Mary Mickelson nervously texted, adding, don't hit bombs or activate calves. Just par. They will have to catch him. Then she added, you won't listen to his mother. Do you text him? Hurry. Tina responded, I'll text him. He's the only one Phil is listening to today. Tim is Phil's brother and caddy. As it turned out, mother knows best, as they always do. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Credit Karma Money is a brand new checking account where you can win daily Instant Karma purchase reimbursements on items up to $5,000. Over $3 million in Instant Karma has already been given away to over 50,000 Credit Karma members and counting. Visit creditkarma.com/winmoney now to open your free account and start winning Instant Karma. That's creditkarma.com/winmoney. Instant Karma is sponsored by Credit Karma. No purchase necessary. Exclusions and terms apply. See rules. Banking services provided by MVB Bank, Inc. Member FDIC. Maximum balance and transfer limits apply.
Introducing the Lowe's List. While there's innovation in every aisle, these are some of our experts' top picks for 2021. Customize any load with a Whirlpool 2-in-1 washer. Control your home with a touch, thanks to Samsung Connected Appliances. Repel the rain with HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams Everlast. And keep the job going longer with the exclusive new line of Flex Power Tools, made for pros. To see who made the full Lowe's list, visit Lowe's.com. Lowe's, home to any budget, home to any possible.
Hi, this is Bill from Southfield Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram during Jeep Freedom Days. We have a great selection of new Jeeps on the lot right now available for delivery. If you have a trade-in or a lease return, we are paying top dollar. Now is the time. So wherever you live, Orchard Lake, Walled Lake, Woodhaven, or Novi, you are a short drive away from the best car buying experience you will ever have. And remember, all roads and all towns lead to Southfield Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram at 11 and a half and Telegraph.
Step on the court with the King of Sportsbooks for a chance to win $100 in free bets when you place a $1 wager on any player to win the French Open in Paris. And if any player serves an ace during their match, man, they're giving this stuff away. You win $100 in free bets regardless of your bet's outcome. Just use bonus code RICO100 and you make your first bet to take advantage of this offer. Sign up now and unlock access to BetMGM's live betting options, boosted odds betting, daily promotions, and much more. Download the app or go to BetMGM.com and use bonus code RICO100 to win $100 in free bets if any player serves an ace at the French Open in Paris. Just use bonus code RICO100 and you make your first bet to take advantage of this offer. There's always a slice of exciting action waiting for you at BetMGM. New customer offer, paid in free bets must be 21 years or older. Michigan only. Gambling problem, call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan Disassociated Persons.
2 Men in a Truck is the leader in all things moving, and now junk removal service. So whether you are looking to simplify your next home or business move, or just need help with that spring cleaning project, go to 2meninatruck.com and get a quote today. Breaking news on 97.1 The Ticket, powered by Odyssey and presented by BetQL. Become a better sports bettor. Get smarter to beat the books. Download the BetQL app or visit BetQL.com today. The Detroit Tigers host
97. It's also the Ticket Text discussing Aaron Rodgers. He was on ESPN Sports Center, the last one with Kenny Mayne, and says it's not about Jordan Love. Loves them. Loves love.
Yes, who doesn't love love?
Yes, exactly. But it's about the organizational philosophy. They don't respect the culture. I don't know.
The people. It's about the people.
Yeah, see, the fact that I'm not there, we're not there, I don't know what he's really referring to besides the general manager. I mean, to me, when you think about Packer culture, they make stars out of Robert Tonyan,
right.
People like that. Ticket Text. What do you think happens last season if Green Bay drafted a receiver instead of Love? They were a Super Bowl caliber team and they used a first-round pick on a player that contributed nothing since getting it. To me, their recent drafts look like a team building for the future, and the problem is that they're a team with an MVP quarterback ready to win now. They would have played their cards to win now, Bob in Rochester. I agree with you, Bob. However, they were one, maybe two bad decisions away from getting to the Super Bowl. One decision was by Rodgers for not running, and the other was by the
coach.
LaFleur by going for field goal. With the team that they had. Reading between the lines, it sounds like the Packers are passively rebuilding. They aren't going full rebuild, so they string Rodgers along to give him a chance each year, but are not being aggressive. Rodgers wants them to be up front. In his rebuild, he wants out to be a team. He wants his team to be more aggressive.
Well, so let's just take a look at this past year's draft. And they lost their center, who was obviously a great center. I forget his last name, but they replaced him with Ohio State center. Corey Linsley, thank you. And Josh Myers, another center from Ohio State, they replaced him with in the second round. They go DB in the first round. In the third round, they got a very good receiver in Amari Rodgers because they're not drafting a number one receiver. And so now they have what seems like, along with the other receivers that Aaron Rodgers has made good, a kid coming out of Clemson who's going to contribute right away. And I don't see any reason why this offense wouldn't be the number one offense in the NFL again with Aaron Rodgers. So
they lost Williams, division rival.
Right, they did, but they also have they also have a plethora of backs in the backfield. So, but and I know this, like they're talking about the first round picks. Jordan Love last year, Rashawn Gary out of obviously Michigan the year before they went defense. Jair Alexander in 2018.
Another quarterback. He's basically an all-pro defensive back.
So that's my point. Is even though they haven't gone skilled position on offense in the first round, they've got great production out of their first round talent. And you know what? Aaron Rodgers, when you start to look at the offense, the way it operated last year, the way that they've added a couple of pieces to the puzzle this year to go along with, complementary pieces, it really looks like, Gutekunst has done a good job of putting a team around Aaron Rodgers, not just offensively, but defensively, building for a Super Bowl run. And this is simply a guy, Aaron Rodgers, with a grudge, and he is already at diva status. And if he moves on, I think he talked about legacy. I think if he moves on from Green Bay right now, it will tarnish his legacy as an NFL quarterback.
Well, especially if Love makes it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I don't think that's really at risk.
Definitely not in the first couple of years.
No, not the first couple of years. But I think that because of the success that they were 13-3 last year.
Yes.
They obviously have talent everywhere on that team. And with Aaron Rodgers, who makes all of that talent better, if he decides that I'm just going to walk away from the game, I think it tarnishes his legacy. Even though he is clearly a Hall of Famer, should be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Close.
It will tarnish his legacy. And it's on Aaron Rodgers, not on Gutekunst.
248-539-9797. If he cares about his legacy being tarnished, yeah, fine. But if you think you can win with Aaron Rodgers in the next 3 to 4 years, you acquiesce to him a little bit. You have to. Or because you're not going to win. It's about winning, John. You know that more than anyone.
I do. But if you start acquiescing to, let's not forget, he's very well compensated. It's not like he is the 10th quarterback or the 15th quarterback. He is in the top 3 of quarterback earnings.
He wants out one. It's like he's trying to knife the Packers a little bit.
Right.
By timing them Stafford's market. You know, I mean, what the Rams might have went after him.
There's also the June 1st deadline, so it's
Yeah.
I mean, it's not completely out of the realm of possibility that a deal could be worked, a beneficial deal for both Green Bay and whoever gets Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, they get $17 million less dead cap if
it's
they
after
collect
June 1.
After June 1st, and then mandatory camp is June 8th. So a lot could happen here after Memorial Day.
Yeah, and that's why Julio Jones won't get traded if he
Until
does
after June 1.
after June 1.
Yeah, I mean, those trades like Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff, it could happen, but it
Yes.
won't be consummated until June.
Look, even if he is a diva, which he is,
Yes.
to me, maybe I'm, jilted because, or not jilted, I'm jaded because we live in a town with no chance to go to the Super Bowl for a couple of years, you would think, and haven't ever been there. To me, it's all about winning. The culture be damned for a little bit,
Well, it is
They're that
all about
close.
winning, but they've been an organization that over the past, 3 decades, they've been winning. So why would you sacrifice just this next year or the next 2 years if your goal is to not just be 3 decades winning, but
Right.
to move on to 4, to move on to 5, and always be that team is competing?
It's true.
I mean, who's the teams? What's the market here for him? I know Denver is obvious.
Yeah, it's limited. Denver, I would say New Orleans would try and find a way. They're going to be really cash strapped.
New England.
I don't think so. I think New England has moved on.
And I don't know if he'd want to go there.
No.
In the
Talking about culture.
Maybe a wild card here would be the Titans. Don't know anything about their finances or anything like that, but
What about Washington with that defense?
Washington definitely could be in the market.
you're going to Dan Snyder, man. I mean,
I know. I got it. But Ron Rivera seems to be the face of the franchise right now.
Right, yeah, and he's the one that's going to be setting the culture.
Why not trade with 2 other franchises that have their other quarterbacks who maybe hinted at trade talks?
well, Seattle
Houston
could
is Seattle.
work. I don't think he'd go to
I
Houston.
don't think he'd go to Houston. Seattle possibly, except he's going to be talking about, you'd have DK Metcalf, but he's going to be running for his life. He's been very well protected in Green Bay.
True. Ticket text. We'll get to after Tony's up. Coming up next, 97.1 The Fan.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. An Odyssey station. Sports headlines all day, every day. From the Sold by Mike Z Sports Desk. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
This update is sponsored by the Michigan Lottery. A week-long Comerica Park homestand begins with a loss for the Tigers last night as they fall to the Cleveland Indians 6-5. Spencer Turnbull solid in his first start since last week's no-hitter in Seattle. He would give up 3 runs and 7 hits over his 6 innings of work. Former Michigan State basketball star Keith Appling remains in jail this morning after his arrest yesterday in Chelsea. The 29-year-old Appling is considered the prime suspect in the shooting death of a 66-year-old man back on Saturday night in Detroit. During his appearance yesterday on The Rich Eisen Show on Peacock, former Lions quarterback Matthew Stafford admitted he was pretty pleased with the way the team officials handled his request for a trade earlier this year.
It's about as smooth a process as it can go when it comes to trading away somebody who's been, in your organization for 12 years. So I was really appreciative of the way they handled it, and I hope they were, fond of the way I handled it as well. So it worked out.
Meanwhile, Pro Bowl wide receiver Julio Jones confirms for Fox Sports' Shannon Sharp that he wants to be traded from the Atlanta Falcons, and that in his mind he's already, quote, out of there. The New England Patriots are considered the favorites to land Jones, but the trade is finally made after June 1st. In the Stanley Cup playoffs last night, Winnipeg beats Edmonton in 3 overtimes 4-3. The New York Islanders needed 2 overtimes to beat Pittsburgh 3-2. Florida downs Tampa Bay 4-1. Toronto beats Montreal 2-1. Minnesota knocks off Vegas 4-2. In the NBA playoffs, Milwaukee crushes Miami 132-98. Denver defeats Portland 128-109. From the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Tony Ortiz. For more, stay tuned to 97.1 The Ticket and Odyssey.com.
Live from the Jamie Samuelson Studio, Stoney and Jansen on 97.1 The Ticket.
Good morning, everybody. Enjoy your Tuesday. It is the Stoney and Jansen program. 248-539-9797. Heather has news coming up at 7:18. Here's some ticket text talking about Aaron Rodgers. He was on ESPN last night on the Kinney Maine Farewell Sports Center, and we played a little of the sound. Basically, lots of hero ball. It works, but it makes Aaron Rodgers look like a diva when he talks about how much he loves everyone except the GM.
Yeah, I agree.
But I don't think he really cares. The idea that Green Bay has to either go for it or rebuild is a bit dumb. Rodgers' trade value is such that a Wilson for Rodgers trade would work and keep Green Bay in the elite in the NFL. And frankly, folks in Wisconsin are big Russ fans since his days at Madison. Also, there is some pretty strong evidence that while Rodgers claims to love his coaches, he isn't actually running their offense. Packers have stated they want to have more set shifts and changes at the line and get the plays started earlier on the clock. I haven't seen much of that at all. Green Bay looks exactly like they have for years, running Aaron Rodgers' offense. Okay,
well, you have a Hall of Fame quarterback that is the NFL MVP.
And their offense is running pretty damn well.
Don't break.
Yeah, maybe if they actually had, bigger guys that, they could throw more in the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
And finally, I just woke up. I thought you guys were talking about Jake Rodgers and the Tigers would be distraught without him. I was like, where is this conversation going?
Good morning.
Yeah. How can you leave? How can you let the mustache leave?
The stash.
Yes, exactly. Another quarterback who's in the news is Deshaun Watson. He still wants to be traded. If I'm Deshaun Watson, I just hope I can get a job.
Yeah. I mean, if with 22... complaints filed against you in regards to sexual misconduct. I at this point, I think he should be hoping and training just to be on an NFL team. And if it's in Houston, hey, thanks for sticking with me.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you for continuing to make me one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL while I went through this and for sticking with me.
And he should also thank Tim Tebow and Aaron Rodgers. Because everybody's talking about those guys when they're not talking about Deshaun Watson.
Yes, they have dominated the news cycle.
Yes. And one of the other persons in the NFL he should be thankful for is Julio Jones. Because everybody's talking about Julio Jones as well, including Shannon Sharp on the Fox Sports show.
Yes.
Yes.
It was.
The Undisputed.
Undisputed.
Yes, with Skip Bayless. I watched that show way too much, I'll tell you that.
I can't watch it. Shannon Sharp, whether you like him or don't like him, he's still, I think, he's got good insight.
Yeah.
He's entertaining. Skip Bayless, it's to me unlistenable because he just throws so many things against the wall to see what sticks, and it's all about the drama with him.
Well, he's a troll like Rieger.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt. Plus, I swear...
It drives me crazy.
I think 70% of their shows over the past 3 years have either been on Tom Brady or LeBron James.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because that's...
And even before...
It's worked for him.
Tim Tebow, actually, for years,
Starting
was
right to
Skip
Longacre
Bayless.
Street.
Anyway,
Head
on
east on
yesterday's
Northwestern
show...
Highway. In 6 miles,
Undisputed,
take exit
Shannon
14C
Sharp,
onto M39 and
calls Julio
Southfield Freeway.
Jones on the air. So the you don't really hear Julio Jones talk, but he's giving, Shannon Sharp some insight here. This is kind of bizarre. Listen to this.
What's going on, bro? Man, nothing much. Gotta go meet up with my brother. What's happening with you? Man, look, you want to go to the Cowboys, Julio? Or you want to stay in Atlanta? Oh, man, nah, man. You out? He's out of there. Are you going to... Ideally, where would you like to go? Right now, I want to win. Okay. Well, don't go to Dallas. If you ain't winning in Dallas, Julio.
I don't disagree with Shannon Sharp there.
I know.
So this is interesting in the fact that, one, it's kind of it's the first time that we've heard directly from Julio Jones that he wants out of Atlanta. The interesting part to me is, did he know he was live on air? It didn't sound like it at the beginning because the way that when you answer the phone, if you know you're live on air, you're not going to answer it probably the same way that Julio Jones answered to Shannon Sharp. And then, Shannon Sharp to me just put Julio in a really bad position in asking him those questions and not letting him know you are live on national TV. This is going to be...
He might have texted him and told him that. I have no idea. Or at least what he should have done is, hey, you want to come on with us now? We'll call you back in 30 seconds and get a better line, too. It's tough to understand.
Right, yeah, but the question is, was this done for drama? or more importantly, recorded, they could run into a big issue if it creates issues for Julio Jones and he says, "You trapped me, I had no idea this was happening, and I am suffering some sort of loss, whether it's sponsorship, my contract with the Atlanta Falcons, whatever it is." They have opened themselves up to a world of hurt if he didn't know.
Correct. Now, the other part about that is, I don't know the answer to this, is even Julio Jones, because he's obviously buddies with Shannon Sharp, is has charges, so to speak.
Depends what he loses.
Okay, but let's say the FCC wants to come down on this. Because I know we have to actually tell people now, on the air.
Yeah, you're live on air.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what? That is an FCC question. I don't know that. All I know is...
I don't really care about that part of it, to be honest with you.
Well, I don't either, except for the fact that if this is the route that they're going to continue to go, and Shannon is going to take advantage of those relationships, it's not going to end well.
So what time are you getting Brady on your phone?
No, I would never put a teammate and a friend in that position. And so that's the issue that I had. I'm a former player. If somebody called me up and I was live on air and I didn't know it, I would be mad. And I would be mad. And I don't necessarily know that I would press charge. Again, it comes down to what are the repercussions to Julio Jones? Does he have local deal sponsorships that he would lose because, hey, if he's going to be gone and he's not going to be here anymore, I'm not going to continue to pay him as an Atlanta Falcon. If I'm a local car dealership or, whatever the sponsorship would be, if he loses enough of those, yeah, you hit somebody in their pocketbook, you took advantage of him as a friend, I would definitely do something.
I don't think he's going to lose anything, because he could be the most beloved person in their franchise history.
Probably is.
Yeah.
Probably is. Yeah. And so we all know fans react in different ways. All of a sudden, hey, my hero, the guy that I just paid however many dollars over the last 10 years is now saying, I'm out of here. There's a lot of emotion that fans have.
Our telephone number is 248-539-9797. Where do you think the best place for Julio Jones is? Do you think it is New England or San Francisco?
San Francisco, to be honest. But it all depends on if they have the capital to trade for. Because most people are saying he could draw a number one pick.
Probably won't.
So the only teams that have an extra first-round pick next year, there's 5 of them. There's the Giants, obviously Detroit, Philly, Miami, and the Jets. So if somebody is willing to give up a first-round pick out of those, could he be that guy that wants to have that Alabama reunion down in Miami?
Or the Alabama reunion in Philly with Ertz and Devontae Smith.
I wouldn't trade for him.
Neither would I. I wouldn't give up a first.
I wouldn't give up a first. The teams with an extra second, there are only 2 teams with an extra second right now next year. Now, teams might give up their second.
Don't forget, as good as he is, and he's a great player, he gets hurt a lot.
He was hurt a lot last year. But when you look at his numbers, when he's on the field, he is more productive than anybody ever. Average yards per game, 10 more yards than Calvin had. I think it was 95 yards to Calvin's almost 86.
I'm not doubting anything that he's done. He's not going to continue to do that. That's the thing with me.
Right.
3 years.
Yeah, he may not continue to be a 95-yard-a-game guy, but he could be 80, 85. That's what Calvin averaged. Would you not want to have that on your team?
Calvin was done playing at his age. That's all he is.
So
He's 32, 33, 34, 35, John. You know it with receivers, the history, and he doesn't have lightning speed.
He hasn't needed lightning speed.
But that's... I wouldn't do it. I'm not paying $38 million over 3 years and giving up something for a 32-year-old receiver. I'm not doing it.
I'm not necessarily saying I would, but we have to look at this in context. His numbers over the course of his career.
I don't deny any of that.
Yes, but last year, I know he was hurt, but when he was on the field, his numbers were as good as Calvin's on a day-in, game-out basis.
Somebody's arguing that he might not be as good as Calvin, because he probably is when his career is done. He won't have, the numbers will be different because Calvin retired early.
Right.
Okay.
But I'm just talking about
pay the piper.
Well, and they've already shown that, hey, we're going to go and we're willing to make trades to improve ourselves right now.
Right.
And, Trey Lance is not improve ourselves right now.
I wouldn't even suggest it. But if your favorite team is like one player away, you think
he's the guy you go get.
Yeah. And you worry about it later because you can have a parade. And you'd rather have parades than draft picks. All right, coming up next, Heather with news.
Yeah, so I've got a wild story that unfortunately ends with a Dearborn man facing animal cruelty charges. And I'm going to tell you why those in Indianapolis just may have done a double take when they received their DoorDash orders.
All right, 97.1 The Ticket.
Hey, you guys, if you're a sports betting fan, you've got to go check out my friends at BetRivers Sportsbook. After an exciting first ever NBA play-in tournament, the first round of the playoffs is underway this week with teams competing for their spot at the title. Now, whether you're a hoops fan or if baseball or soccer is more your vibe, everybody can get in on the action at BetRivers Sportsbook. They've got both new and existing users covered with daily profit boosts and special promotions every single day of the week. Now, right now, BetRivers offers fans 20% boosts on any live bet on Mondays, any baseball bet on Wednesdays, and soccer bet on Saturdays. So whether you're betting the action on the hardwood, diamond, or pitch, you can place your bets with an award-winning platform that puts fans first, and that's BetRivers Sportsbook. So don't miss out. Log on or create your account today at BetRivers.com.
At the stop
Detroit's
sign,
hometown
turn left
sportsbook.
onto Linton
Bet
Street,
with a
then
winner.
turn
So
right
go
onto
visit
Longacre Street.
BetRivers.com for full terms and conditions. Must be 21, playable in Michigan. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, most of the roads in pretty decent shape this morning. No major issues to get around. Just a couple of slow spots. One of them on the South Freeway northbound from 6 to 7 Mile. Be on the lookout for a disabled vehicle in the left lane. Also, traffic volumes are heavy. 75 southbound from 14 to 12 Mile, and again approaching the Davison, all due to construction. The Deck-Go route you can trust is Woodward.
At the stop sign,
with traffic.
turn right onto Longacre Street, then arrive at your destination.
Matters to you. Download the Odyssey app today.
Med Supply in Troy, Michigan is your local one-stop shop for home and business medical equipment and supplies. They have an assortment of FDA-approved nitrile gloves, the highest quality, most durable medical-grade gloves for your peace of mind. Med Supply carries PPE, N95 masks, hand sanitizers, wipes, isolation gowns, and walk-through temperature gauges. 18 years in business. Aggressive pricing, same-day delivery, while supplies last. Visit med-supply.com. That's med-supply.com.
I'd like to encourage everyone to support local businesses. And when you shop for your next vehicle, I hope you consider us. Hi friends, Bill Golling here from Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. And right now during our Memorial Day sales event, qualified Chrysler employees can lease a 2021 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited for $290 a month. Leases for 36 months, 10,000 miles a year with $2,000 down. Plus, we'll give you top dollar for your trade. So come see us. You'll be glad you did. That's Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bloomfield Hills, Chelsea, Roseville, and online at Golling.com.
I'm writing you a ticket for not wearing your seatbelt.
Mom, when you get a ticket for not buckling up, it doesn't just come from an officer. It comes from everyone who loves you.
Like your family.
And your best friend. And your other best friend. They all want you to